The ESME Philippines is a free learning platform offered to Filipinos who are looking for a way to learn and build real employable skills that are in demand. Learn marketing, entrepreneurship, photography, culinary, advertising, videography, business operations, gardening, personal development, health and fitness, finance and accounting, music, and academics. Learn and share your skills today. Sign up now at esme.ph.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jet, and I'm one of the co-founders of ESME.ph. So welcome to the live webinar series of ESME.ph. We are an e-learning marketplace for professional Filipinos where you can build relevant and in-demand skills. You can like our Facebook page at ESME Philippines, that's ESME Philippines, and visit our website at www.esme.ph. And for those who are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, feel free to share this video to the people you think who will be interested about our topic for today. So, today, August 30, I will be joined by yet another special co-host, and he is also known as Jem the host. He has been hosting professionally since 2017, kaya medyo kinakabahan ako dito, and is actually a member of the Microphone Club. From weddings, debut, and corporate events, he has been helping clients to have memorable experiences by putting the fun and ease in their events through his hosting. My co-host for today, ladies and gentlemen, is Jem Mailum. Jem, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Jet. Thank you so much for that very wonderful introduction. Grabe,
Yes.
medyo na-pressure ako ng konti. And thank you also for having me. Hello to
Yes.
all those who are watching right now live on Facebook or in any other platforms. I'm sure they're very excited to learn
Yes.
more for this afternoon session.
We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, Jem.
Mhm.
So thank you again for coming in today. Sobrang saya ko kasi
Yeah,
may kasama ulit ako and professional host pa.
yeah. I'm so also excited kasi this learning platform is, I think, very, very helpful. Lalo
Yes.
na ngayong pandemic, di ba?
Yes,
Some of
yes.
us have nothing to do, but when you go online, aside from just watching videos or surfing the net, might as well devote your time to learning, di ba?
Tama, tama. And we have a very, very interesting topic talaga today. Our title nga ng topic natin is Urban Agriculture. Can it
Yeah.
feed our cities? Right? Kapag narinig mo yung title natin, anong unang papasok sa isip mo, bro?
Ako talaga, bro, pagkain talaga. Kasi di ba?
Pagkain.
Oo, kasi the product of agriculture is food. And my father used to study agriculture in UP Los Baños. I
Nice.
also had a little background of agriculture kasi we studied it as part of our course in development communication. So, medyo exciting tong part na to, lalo na ngayong pandemic, di ba?
No, tama, tama. And maganda talaga. Totoo naman kapag binasa mo yan, pagkain talaga. Pero kasama nun yung the problem of food security, sustainability.
Yes.
And magandang pag-usapan ngayon. And very, very blessed tayo today na we have a very insightful co-host for today. Guest for today.
Yes.
A very special host for today. And di ko na siguro patatagalin, no? Our guest for today is actually very insightful nga, and he is actually from IT and creative industry for almost 8 years. But then he made a big shift from IT to agriculture and founded Uproot Urban Farms. And he has a mission of and goal to bring back the connection of the food we eat, mainly with the use of aquaponics technology. Bro, sumisikat tong mga aquaponics technology.
Oo nga eh. Oo, grabe.
He's currently, yung maganda yung title niya dun sa Uproot eh. Ang title niya is Chief Urban Farmer.
Yes.
Maganda yung title niya. And medyo big time to kasi he's also the winner of the recent na Space of Ingenious Program. It's a partnership incubation program dedicated to recognize startups that are making social impact. So medyo big time talaga tong kausap natin
Big time
ngayon.
talaga. Yeah.
Introduce
Marami
ko na
tayong matutunan sa kanya.
our guest for today is Robi de Rosario. Bro, welcome sa ating webinar for today.
Hello Jet and hello Jem.
Hello,
thank you
Robi.
for having me here, and hello sa mga viewers, no. Alam
Yes.
naman natin na malapit sa puso natin tong topic na to, lalo na ang urban farming.
Totoo.
Yeah. Oo, alam mo, Robi, talagang nakaka-excite to kasi ako personally nakakita na ako sa mga friends ko sa Instagram, nagtatanim sila paunti-unti doon sa mga backyard nila, and ako I'm very excited to know, no, Robi, kasi nabanggit kanina ni Jet that you had an IT background before. So, ano ba yung nag-trigger sa'yo as an IT professional before bago ka naging part ng urban, yung farming talaga or agriculture field per se?
Okay, before going full time sa Uproot, I was a creative and IT manager for Makati Business Club. What I did primarily there was I was in charge of yung creative collaterals and requirements. And I got into urban farming back in 2012 when my youngest daughter was born, kasi I wanted to provide her the best produce. And siguro swerte lang ako na I was able to turn my hobby into something that is worthwhile, katulad ng Uproot.
Tama. Bro, can you tell us more about Uproot and what you do before we dig deeper into our topic?
Sige. Actually, nag-prepare ako ng slide.
Sige, bro.
Para so just a little background. Uproot is a for-purpose enterprise that aims to provide local communities access to healthy and fresh produce, especially ngayong critical time katulad ng may pandemic. So we primarily develop ang mga urban farms through hydroponic and aquaponic systems, and through the years we developed partnerships also with farmers and IT communities to ensure yung continuous flow of food ngayon in Metro Manila. So just just to give you a little or aquaponics in a nutshell, aquaponics is the symbiotic relationship between the fish and the plant. So we basically have two ecosystems, yung fish and the plant. Ngayon, what happens is the fish eats, and normally nagpupupo siya, and this pupu which has ammonia, it's actually bad for the fish and the plant. Ngayon, there are naturally occurring bacteria dun sa tubig which converts itong mga bad elements like yung ammonia into something useful for the plants like nitrogen. And then, in return, yung plants naman help filter yung tubig bago bumalik siya sa fish tank. So, ayun, parang completing the cycle. So, they uh, they need each other to basically survive. So, yun nga, we started Uproot to basically help provide food for families living in marginalized areas. Kasi alam naman natin karamihan sa ating mga kababayan dito na nakatira, average na kita nila is around 150 to 200 pesos kada araw lamang. Tapos 100% nung kinikita nila ay napupunta dun sa nila for their food needs. And usually average households member nito is around 5, but sometimes umaabot sila ng mga 10. So kulang na kulang talaga yung kinikita nila para sa pagkain lang. And then, so most of them end up nangungutang dun sa mga pangdagdag sa pagkain nila. And yun, kung karamihan sa kanila na may mga anak na nagsuschool, medyo napapangsan tabi muna ito. Kasi nga, mas importante yung yung pangangailangan nila sa pagkain. So we thought of a way to give them extra income para dito sa mga communities na to. And at the same time, provide them their food needs. And this is what we came up. Ito yung parang pinakauna naming system that we developed. Yung blue drum. So it takes about 4 square meters of or 4 square foot lang of space. So maliit lang siya. Tapos kaya mong it can provide up to 20 plants and up to 30 fish. So kahit maliit lang siya ng lugar. So katulad nito. And by doing this or by providing them this, nakakatipid sila ng as much as 50% of their income. So yun, we started back in 2016 with our first model. Tapos yun, through the years we've parang developed or improved on our systems until from there we started putting up some mga hotels and restaurants also. So yun, over the years we built systems for restaurants and hotels and for home use as well. So now with our food production systems or grow hubs as we call them, in Uproot, you're now able to grow food more efficiently by using less resources all year round, and that helps us keep yung food prices stable. So yun, our food production systems basically takes out the hard part of growing plants for you and your family. So parang na siya, plug and play sa mga bahay. So we grow a variety of crops. So we have around 50 different crops from leafy greens, pang salad, herbs, and even edible flowers. Tapos it's controlled environment, so water, nutrients, and lightings are automatically controlled. And you provide it provides on-demand fresh food as well as high nutrient and safe as well. Kasi a lot of us eat vegetables para maging healthy tayo, but little do we know that the veggies that we eat has been laced with a lot of pesticides or fertilizers or have been contaminated with disease. Lalo na yung mga E. coli at Salmonella. So growing at home gives you the peace of mind and assurance that what you're eating is high nutrient, flavorful, and safe. And we did a cost analysis of our vegetables that we grow versus yung mga vegetables bought in supermarkets. And we found out na yun, not only is our lettuce cheaper compared to supermarkets, but they are actually more fresher, and in terms of safety, we don't spray or use any chemicals that are harmful to the plants and people as well. So we simply grow them naturally. Like I mentioned earlier, we grow using aquaponics. So yun, in Uproot, we don't just grow also vegetables. We also work with mga mothers to also cultivate their lives. So ito yung some of the mothers that we work with. And yun, so we're Uproot.
Galing bro, kasi gusto ko yung symbiotic relationship between the plants and the fish, no? Kasi minsan, yung mga usual mga tao, fish lang, tapos
Yeah.
plants lang, but then the aquaponics combine it together and use the natural and symbiotic relationship of the two.
Yeah,
Cool.
tama ka dyan, Jet. Saka grabe yung intro pa lang ni Robbie about Uproot. Ang nagustuhan ko naman doon yung plug and play at saka yung concept of retaining the nutrients dun sa mga produce, and it's cheaper and healthier kasi minsan naisip natin pag healthy, naku mahal yan eh. Pero at least ngayon, di ba, Uproot is there to really help us have more access to this kind of produced products that are healthier and cheaper. So, galing,
Yes.
Robbie.
Yes. Okay. So I think we can, now that we know more about Uproot, what Robi is doing with Uproot and his mission, we can talk more about urban farming.
Yeah, yeah. Oo. Tama ka dyan, Jet. Kasi alam mo yung urban farming dito sa Pilipinas, napapaisip tayo mga Pilipino parate. Alam kasi natin na agricultural country tayo. Yet, we also know that we export most of our crops. So, Rob, kung ikaw naman yung tatanungin, what do you think ba are the challenges in strengthening our agricultural sector here in the Philippines?
So I think if I'm not mistaken, our two main agriculture exports are banana and coconut oil. Which I think naman even if we double or triple exporting these products, we still have a lot of bananas and coconuts, and we won't run out of it. Siguro yung what we could concentrate on other commodities like rice, but then again there's no use exporting our agri products if we cannot compete with the current international prices, which is mababa talaga compared to our cost of producing certain crops. To be honest, we have so many problems in our agri sector, from our fragmented food supply chain, which causes a lot of loss and inefficiencies. Kasi I was able to experience that firsthand when we were doing food distribution during the pandemic. As yun, to our national government, I'm not quite sure with the numbers, but I believe that parang our agri sector's share in our GDP is around 10%, but it's only around 1.8 to 2% of our national budget. If I remember correctly, parang ganun. Which is quite frankly, it's not enough. Like what you've mentioned na parang we are primarily considered as an agriculture country. So what's been happening for the longest time is most of our farmers have been subsidizing our food here in Metro Manila. So we could get it cheaper.
Tama, there are a lot of things to be improved talaga sa agricultural sector in general. And minsan overwhelming yung dami ng problema eh.
Oo, sobra. Yeah, sobrang dami talaga. Pero, Robbie, ko ikaw ba tatanungin, sa dami ng problemang ganito ng agricultural sector dito sa bansa natin, what do you think can be done to address these challenges?
For one, RDA Secretary, si Sec Dar, which is a renowned agri expert, has been really pushing for a higher budget for DA, which is I think is really needed and about time. In terms of our agri products being exported more, the only way we could really do it is to really make the prices competitive on the world stage. And to do that, I honestly have no answer. So sorry. Leave that to the experts.
Yeah, totoo naman. With the problem that overwhelming, talaga totoo. We need to, well, unfortunately, we really need to trust the government that they will do the right thing. Lalo na, good thing na tama ka naman na Secretary Dar is really a renowned expert in agriculture and sikat talaga siya, magaling talaga.
Yeah, tsaka di ba talagang let's take it one step at a time, ika nga, with the agriculture sector, di ba? Kasi it's the food of the people that we're talking about here, di ba? And Robbie, bigla ko lang ding naalala kasi one of the issues also that is pertaining to agricultural sector is the rapid conversion of agricultural land. Kasi ngayon, nako-convert na siya primarily into residential and commercial land, lalong-lalo na dito sa Luzon, di ba? So, sa tingin mo ba, how can this adversely affect the state of food security of our country?
A lot actually. I mean, we've seen the effects of this pandemic, diba? How it caused our food system to collapse or cripple it. And we're just talking about Metro Manila.
Yeah.
Before, I remember a few years ago, Batangas, Cavite area or yung Calabarzon area used to and is actually still importing food to Metro Manila. But in a few years time, we are expecting that they will stop or significantly lessen yung exporting food to Metro Manila due to their food being consumed domestically. And ayun nga, yung katulad ng nasabi mo, a lot of yung agriculture land being converted into residential and commercial
Yeah.
spaces. Marami dyan, lalo yung sa Cavite.
Yeah,
And then,
oo.
mukhang magiging trend dito sa mga lugar na to is soon they'll be importing, like Metro Manila, which imports almost 80% of its food, will be importing food as well. So, yun, kukulangin na talaga yung pagkain dyan due to rapid urbanization, especially yun, sa Cavite area.
Totoo yan kasi isang economic effect din yan yung kapag sobrang rapid urbanization, syempre kukunti yung agricultural land, kukunti yung taniman, may effect din yan sa supply and demand ng mga pagkain natin. Kaya yung food security. Syempre kapag konti yung tataniman, kukunti yung produce, kukunti yung supply, syempre tataas din ang presyo. So parang meron siyang domino effect. Ito merong isang tayo nag-comment dito si Mark Darish Alcazar. Sabi niya, nag-agree siya sa rapid urbanization kasi he's from Cavite. So siguro nakikita niya talaga ang daming villages eh.
Oo. Sobra siguro kasi talagang at saka magugulat ka na lang, 'di ba? Minsan leftover land lang na dating nagamit into agricultural purposes, tas biglang in a few days tatayuan na agad, 'di ba? Or meron na agad billboard or something. So grabe, ang bilis talaga ng urbanization na nakaka-apekto directly to the agriculture sector. So, kaya, ayun, Robi, ngayon na, syempre, ang mga tao ngayon, since going back also to that previous question of mine na nako-convert yung mga lands ngayon from an agricultural sector to urbanization, syempre, ang mga tao naman also adapts then. So, they're also shifting naman to urban farming ngayon. And meron ako nabasa before na survey from the Department of Agriculture in 2017 na yung average age of farmers daw ngayon is 60 years old na. And ako personally, since I studied in UP Los Baños, some of my friends don't want to take or they did not take agriculture as their course of study in college. Ako yung tatay ko, agriculturist also, he's a horticulturist, and sabi niya, bakit hindi ka nag-agriculture? Sabi ko, tay, ayoko, gusto ko communication eh. So, ikaw, Robi, kung ikaw tatanungin, you also have a daughter. So, sa tingin mo, what are the ways ba for us to encourage millennials, or what ways can be done to make farming cool for millennials entering college to take up agriculture?
Siguro yun nga, tama ka dun yung sinabi mo na yung average age ng farmers natin is 60 years old. I think 2017 pa yung survey na yan. So meron talaga tayong very aside from this pandemic, we have another looming problem. In 10 years time, we really have to ask this question na sino talaga yung magpapakain sa atin kasi matatanda na yung mga farmers natin, 70 years old. Sa tingin ba natin kakayanin pa ba nila yung ginagawa nila? So, yun. And yun, yun nga, parang it's sad to say siguro na kaya nababawasan din or paunti ng paunti yung mga nag-enroll sa sa agriculture is parang it's sad to say na yung poverty incidence sa agriculture sector is ang pinakamataas sa country natin. But by the way pala, I don't have a agri background. I graduated as a multimedia artist ng college. Just to but yeah, we're working with the sector. Yun, I found out yung mga the harsh reality. So yun, dahil nga siguro considered na or mataas yung high poverty incidence sa agri sector, karamihan ng mga anak nitong mga farmers would rather yung work or study different courses after graduating, they could go to the city and work or work sa yung mga trabaho dito na nakaupo sila sa office,
Yes.
aircon, na hindi sila na nakababad sa mainit na araw yung buong araw, tapos nakayuko or pagod katulad ng mga parents nila.
Mhm.
So yun, and siguro I would think that one of the ways that we can make agriculture cool, lalong-lalo sa mga millennials natin is to basically show them that you can earn from being a farmer.
Yeah.
Treat it as an agribusiness because I mean, for me, that's the only way you can attract more people.
Wow.
Sa ibang bansa, di ba, ang taas ng tingin sa mga farmers.
Yes.
Japan. And isa
Mhm.
sila sa mga matataas kumita. Well,
Mm.
bakit hindi natin pwede gawin dito?
Mm.
Yeah.
I think malaking factor din yung social media right now kasi madaming nakikita nila ay okay pala yung mag-urban farming. Pero yung ang parang ang stepping stone nila ay maganda tingnan. Maganda tingnan. No, the problem is that while it's good na yun yung parang nagiging starting point nila, yung sustainability naman kaya ba nila ituloy na mahilig talaga sila sa urban farming, ha? Pero there's a good thing na merong start dahil sa the rise of social media, mga plantito, plantita, so and so forth, ganyan.
Yeah, oo. Tsaka Jet, I also agree na with the exposure of agriculture sa social media, sometimes people would also think na kung ano man yung skill set na meron sila, na-integrate na rin nila into agriculture, di ba? Like, of course, Robi, di ba, coming from an IT and creative agency, di ba? I'm sure all of his creativity has also been applied to agriculture. So I think yung pagko-cross borders ba or no borders ng mga fields, I think it's also a definite way to help really the agriculture sector, di ba?
Yes.
So, yun.
I'm sure
Grabe.
madami din dyan mga hindi agriculture students pero at the back of their mind na nakaka-catch nila yung interest nila into agriculture. So if you're one of them, tuloy mo lang yan. Kung may bumubulong sa'yo magtanim ka na.
Oo. Magtanim, di ba? Tsaka meron ding harvest in the future. Merong harvest financially, may harvest of good produce also, not just for you and your family, but for the people around you, di ba?
And meron tayo isa dito, nanonood sa atin bro, future agriculturist daw siya. She's
Wow.
Rosabel Barrera. So, future agriculturist, tuloy mo lang yan, Rosabel.
Oo. Mas kailangan natin ngayon ng maraming agriculturist, ika nga, di ba? And yun nga, Jet, nabanggit mo rin kanina that marami na nagpo-post ngayon sa social media about agriculture and lalong-lalo na ngayong quarantine period, I'm sure marami nang nakaka-realize nung kahalagahan nung pag-grow of your own food, especially during quarantine, lalo na pag ayaw mo lumabas or ayaw mo pumunta sa supermarket. So, Robbie, ikaw, kung tatanungin ka namin, how can we nourish ba this increasing interest of urban farming among people nowadays, especially Filipinos, para lang masustain at saka para lang we can make sure that it's not just any other society's trend na baka pagkatapos ng pandemic, bigla na lang mawala, di ba? So, any thoughts on this, Robbie?
Jem, totoo yung mga sinabi nyo. Ngayon na uso talaga yung mga mga plantito, plantita and
Yes.
sa social media. And yung this pandemic na has really fast-tracked yung urban farming or yung interest na lang. But actually, as early as 2017, even before the pandemic, we have noticed already na more and more people are really getting into backyard farming, growing their own food. And I also believe that our government has been really promoting urban agriculture as far back as 2016 or 2014 pa nga ata. It was basically to encourage more people living in the city to grow their own food to mainly combat yung rising food prices and basically make or force people to eat more healthy and more vegetables. So yun, but yeah, going back, people, especially yung those living here in the metro, so saw firsthand how hard it is to access food. Yung lalong-lalo during the lockdown or the early weeks of the lockdown. Plus the fact siguro na the people are now more concerned about yung safety issues of their food, yung how many hands have touched their food before it was delivered to them, ganon. Where unlike before na they were only parang they only wanted to a certain degree yung traceability of where their food came from, parang ganyan lang. Pero ngayon, food safety is parang one of the major concerns now for a lot of people, which I think will also be part of the trend or the new normal as well. And yun, like people are more aware of how essential food is and how hard it to access it during pandemics. And yun nga, na-realize na siguro na this is now the best time to get into urban farming to grow their own food.
Na-realize ko, bro. Sige, I'm sorry. Sige.
This is actually evident with the deluge of inquiries we got for our home food system, especially yun nga, during the first 4 weeks of the lockdown. Dami namin inquiries.
Totoo, na-realize ko lang din kasi 'di ba, we're trying to discuss kung paano ba magiging sustainable at hindi lang maging normal trend, any other trend tong rise of urban farming. I think Uproot Urban Farms is actually a big can play a big role here kasi usually ang mindset ng mga millennials kapag pag farming, tatanim ka ng palay sa
Madumi.
Pero one of the ways to make it cool is bringing technology in, agri-tech, and yung one technology nga, yung aquaponics. So, pag nakita nila, ay, ang galing, yung isda nagagamit pang tanim ng mga pagkain. Parang matutuwa sila at itutuloy-tuloy nila. So, hindi lang sila pwede makakain ng gulay, pwede pa sila makakain ng isda. So, 2-in-1.
Totoo.
Kaya yung Uproot, one of the, it's good thing din na you're continuing with your endeavor dito sa Uproot, bro.
Salamat.
Yeah, ang laki talaga din ng influence yung mindset learning ng mga tao na kapag nakita nila, uy, ganito lang pala siya kadali, or uy, ito pala yung makukuha kong returns after studying it, after applying it. I'm sure maraming mga Pilipino pa yung mas mai-inspire to go into urban farming and hindi na siya magde-decline as a downside trend, di ba? So, ayun. Alam mo, Robi, nung narinig ko yung Uproot, very interesting talaga yung background and concept nito, no? And especially for millennials right now, I'm sure most of them are tech savvy, hindi sila masyado into farming. Sasabihin nila, ay wala po kasi akong what they call green thumb. So kung ikaw ba tatanungin, Robi, what are the first steps ba in doing urban farming? Or dun sa mga viewers natin na nanonood ngayon, I'm sure they're very interested. Paano sila magsisimula ng urban farming sa kanilang mga backyard?
I believe personally, for the non-agri experts like me, naka-experience din ako a lot nito yung sinasabing walang green thumb na namamatay, tiligan mo na lang. Yeah, but for me, the first step I would really suggest is to do not get discouraged by the results. What I could say that like any other stuff that we're trying out for the first time, syempre yung results yan magva-vary, di ba? But yun nga, never give up. And what you can do is read up on materials kasi urban farming is not just in watering the plants and giving them sunlight. It also involves yung knowing what the needs of the plants and so yun nga, I would suggest that the best thing to do is read, get a lot of information about growing plants, and then try it out for yourself. After reading, experiment mo, and then keep a record or keep data so that when you've done something na nagkaroon ko yung problema, you can always go back to something na and see what worked and what did not work for you, because what works for me doesn't necessarily mean it will work on you also. So importante yun aral tayo, tapos do it personally para makita mo talaga on hand, and then from there record mo yung mga experiences mo para at least or keep a data para you have something to go back to.
Tama, education is really important in urban farming. And actually, hindi lang sa urban farming, kahit any other na gusto mong matutunan or hobbies mo or passion mo. Number one talaga, you need to educate yourself. No? Kahit hindi mo course yan, kung gusto mong matuto, mag-aral ka. Kaya sa ESME.ph, and madaming kaming courses na, iba-iba yung mga categories namin. We have different categories, different courses. So, na-segue ko lang. But then bro, ito yung interesting sa akin. No? Kapag balik ko dun sa sa aquaponics. If you do the aquaponics, do you necessarily have to have a green thumb to be successful in aquaponics?
Hindi actually kasi parang if the system was done right, parang kasi may proper cycling din siya. Parang siguro makaka-relate dito yung mga nag-aquarium. Diba, pag may bagong aquarium, hindi mo naman agad ilalagay yung isda mo. Parang kukonditionin mo muna siya.
Yeah.
Enough that their environment is conducive for them to thrive. Yun yung parang may ganun. And once siguro na mature na yung system mo, it will actually pwede mo nga siyang iwanan eh. Naka-experience na kami na gano'n na naiwan ko, tapos pagbalik ko, parang naging gubat na siya.
Talaga?
So,
alam mo bro, madami talaga nai-interest sa aquaponics. So, may mga nagtatanong dito sa atin from Facebook. Magkano daw ba yung minimum investment for aquaponics? Mahal ba yung gagastusin? Paano ba ang setup ng aquaponics? So, iba-iba eh. So, I think madaming nai-interest dito sa aquaponics talaga dahil dito sa conversation natin ngayon.
It ranges eh. For us, we have yung pinakamaliit naming system which is 1 square meter. Kaya mong mag-produce ng up to 32 plants and up to 100 na fish fingerlings. So,
nice.
It varies eh. Depending dun sa But ang maganda dito is sa aquaponics, pwede siyang modular. So, kung ano available space mo, pwede natin siyang i-customize dun sa So, kung meron ka lang, 5 square meter yung available space mo, we could customize the system na that will fit it, that area na that will still produce significantly.
Nice. Meron pa dito bro, nagtanong if you're selling daw a hydroponics kit. Maybe later we can you can give your contact information, email or social media accounts para they can contact you directly dun sa mga interesado for aquaponics. Later po isasabihin ni Robi ang kanyang mga contact information.
O, di ba? Alam mo, Jet, itong mga nagko-comment sa atin ngayon, ito na yung isang great example na pinag-uusapan lang natin via social media tong urban farming, and then the interest already gets up, di ba? Parang tumataas na yung interest because sa pag-uusapan na natin, di ba? And we really show them what its advantages are at kung paano sila makakatulong. And I have to agree with Robi kanina sa sinabi niya, don't be discouraged kasi yung iba siguro, pag madaling nalalanta, naku, wala na nangyari doon sa tinanim ko, di ba? So, kailangan lang nilang ituloy lang, di ba? And I have to agree also to document the learning. Kasi para at least those documented information can be shared again via social media at matututo din yung iba from their own personal experiences din. Grabe. Galing. So,
question. Meron ako, ito, bigla lang nag-pop up sa ko. Di ba usually the urban farms are for mga personal consumption. Have you had a client or anything na nagpa-set up sa'yo for business purposes? So gusto niya, yung mga ibebenta niya eventually, and profitable ba kapag ganun yung setup mo?
Well, yes. Meron ako yung mga clients na set up either for home use tapos for commercial din. Ang medyo lang dyan is capital intensive siya at first. Pero in terms of yung OPEX mo naman, mababawi mo siya. Like, sa traditional farming, may kaibigan ako na may farm dito sa Antipolo. Parang they spend around 17,000 pesos per month sa tubig lang. With aquaponics, since it's recirculating or closed loop system, so yung water from the fish tank, pinapump dun sa grow bed, sa halaman. Tapos yung halaman niya, finifilter yung tubig pabalik dun sa you're able to save as much as 90% of water. Parang we basically do top ups lang ng water every 2 weeks ganyan. So yun, ang laking katipiran nun. Tapos yun, if you're compared to traditional farming which requires a lot of land space and will require killing, so labor ganyan. With aquaponics, we're thinking almost 50% less labor siya kasi no more killing, no more weeding. All you have to do is harvest na lang. So, yun, maano mo siya, meron kami experience na yung ROI will be around 18 to 24 months. Good
Not bad.
meters.
24 months. So,
Lalo na ngayon kasi, di ba, nakita, in prior to COVID, ang dami nagsusulputan ng mga Korean restaurants.
Ah,
the place. And talaga yung demand for lettuce.
Gyupsal.
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
So, pwede siya talaga na agribusiness, na pang-urban.
Oh, nice. So, pwede siyang for consumption and pwede mo din siyang inegosyo. So, for those who are interested, again, later, ibibigay ni Robi. Meron pa tayong one question dito before we move forward, Jen. From Angelo Ora. Ito yung question niya. I just want to ask po, what problems or issues do you see with farming and gardening in cities? So, mainly urban farming. Ano naman yung mga, while maganda yung system mo, syempre meron ka pa ding problems yan may encounter. So, basically, ano yung mga problems na yun, bro?
Karamihan sa na-experience namin na problem yung nag-set up kami ng home system was basically siguro yung na-excite yung new owners or new urban farmers dun sa isda na napakain nila ng sobra. So yun, nag-spike yung ammonia, ganyan, which is bad na.
Okay.
Yung naman yung isda, tapos nakaka-apekto rin siya dun sa plants. Tapos siguro yung minsan set up siya sa isang lugar na hindi maaraw. So yun
Okay.
Mostly sa mga pests na naman siya na minimize yung pest infestation kasi usually naka-greenhouse ka. Tapos ang napapansin namin, pag healthy yung mga plants mo, or pag healthy yung plants, hindi siya gaanong kinakapitan ng mga pests. Kasi ang tinatarget ng mga pests yung plants para kasi doon sila nakakapag mas nagpo-propagate.
Nice.
Grabe, ang galing. Alam mo, naalala ko tuloy yung sinabi ni Jet din kanina na when you grow your food kasi personal consumption, pwede mo pang i-agribusiness. And sabi nga ni Robi kanina, meron pa sila mga kliyente that really turns this into a business, di ba? So, Robi, kung ganun na yung scenario ngayon that more people are more aware of urban farming and more people are practicing it not just for themselves but for their own growth in the business sector as well. So, kung parami yung mga tao na kaya na mag-grow of their own food through urban farming, ito ba, sa tingin mo, Robi, magiging threat ba to sa mga traditional farmers natin dito sa Pilipinas?
Kasi we all know na traditional agriculture naman is the backbone of our country. So and urban agriculture can never replace that. But what I see doing yung urban agriculture is parang complementing kasi right now for instance we grow 50 different varieties of high value crops in our in our food systems, from leafy greens to herbs to perennial plants and even edible flowers that you cannot normally find sa mga supermarkets or palengkes. But yun for us we can grow 50 different varieties pero it doesn't make sense for us to grow yung mga broccoli or mga eggplants or yung mga fruiting plants in our system because the cost is higher for us compared to when you grow it sa mga fields. I can give you an example kasi nga when we got into food distribution during COVID, we were moving between 20 to 40 tons of produce per week here in Metro Manila. And we get around 30 to 40% na food waste from the because we source the produce mainly sa up north. So yun, we get around 30 to 40 food waste which is malaki. Dahil dun sa long distance na tinatravel and yun nga, yung early weeks nung lockdown, may daming checkpoints, almost every province may checkpoints which nakadagdag talaga dun sa sa time. So pagdating dito, medyo parang minsan overripe na.
Lamog na.
Like yung mga highly perishable yung lettuce, mga coriander or yung wansoy. At saka yun, especially yung strawberries. Pagdating dito, sira na. So yun, by growing these crops locally, we can actually make those farms up there that grow yung mga yung mga like yung broccoli nga, to just focus on growing certain type of produce. Tapos they can sell it here naman sa Metro Manila that medyo high value din naman yung yung broccoli, di ba? Compared dun sa kangkong, which is around 30 pesos per yung tali. Broccoli fetches around 180 to 250 pesos, diba? Mga ganyan.
Nice. So ito talaga si urban farming and si traditional farming are complementary for each other.
Yes.
It will never compete with each other kasi may mga crops lang na perfect for urban farming and meron namang crops na never siya magiging good for urban farming.
Yeah.
Katulad ng palay.
Palay, di naman sa kaya, palay, mais.
Kayanin ba yun sa urban farming? Baka hindi, di ba?
Kaya, pero yun nga, due to the limited space, ay alam naman natin nung di ba, para makakuha ka ng or makabuo ka ng isang sako, ilang kailangan mo.
Tama.
Tama, ang galing. Baka matatagalan kasi pag super limited yung space, di ba? And resources. Pero ang ganda ng concept na yun, parang talagang they would complement, and I think farming really has a great future dito sa ating bansa if we practice it the right way, both for urban farming and of course traditional farming din. So, yun Robi, moving forward, since mukha namang maganda talaga yung future ng agriculture dito sa ating bansa, kung ikaw ba tatanungin ko personally, where can you see urban farming ba in the Philippines in the next 5 years?
Sakto. Kasi I'm doing my paper right now for Uproot, and part of yung tinuro sa amin ng guru namin was to really look for trends right now which can help us get a glimpse of the future. So right now you're observing population growth and rapid urbanization lalo na dun sa countryside. And yun nga, sabi ng may study yung UN diba, na majority of the people are expected to live in cities by 2050. Ngayon, Manila's current population is around, if I'm not mistaken, around 13 million. Pero their estimates na were suggesting na by 2050, it will reach 40 to 50 million. So, di ba, grabing na yan.
Grabe, oo.
Pack na tayo.
Siksikan talaga tayo dito yan.
Yeah. So, yun, we really need to make sure that our food systems are in place to ensure na yun nga, by the time na dumating tayo dyan sa point na yun, people have something to eat. And yun nga, siguro one of the few, kung masasabi mo bright na nangyari dito sa pandemic was this pandemic really helped in a way to make people more aware of our current problems. Lalong-lalo na yung in terms of yung food accessibility and availability, di ba? And alam naman natin na itong pandemic na to has made a lot of people, not just chefs but also yun nga, food producers in their own home or for their own consumption at least, di ba? Plus again, yung going back in food safety concern of many people, how many people touch their food before it reaches their plate is another concern that has really propelled people to really practice urban farming. So we're really looking at in the next 5 years mas maraming taong magpa-practice ng urban farming.
Nice. Totoo yan, naalala ko tuloy yung isang kata ng South Border, there's a rainbow always
after the rain.
So madami mang challenges ang ating agriculture sector. Yung urban farming is one of the rainbow, the silver lining sa ating agriculture industry. So, we're on the right track, right? Diba?
Yes, Totoo yan. Parang all of the sectors will be helping out each other to ensure talaga that we will have a good produce, and of course, the agriculture sector is here to stay talaga dito sa ating bansa. So, speaking of all the sectors, Robi, na nagtutulungan para to move forward with agriculture and the future of agriculture in the Philippines. Sa tingin mo ba, Robi, ano kaya yung mga roles ng government or siguro private sector or kahit yung mga local urban farmers natin ngayon in ensuring na yung urban farming will have a greener pasture or will have a greener future dito sa bansa natin? Ano kaya yung mga roles nila na pwede nilang gawin sa tingin mo?
Well, yun, tama ka na, importante na may mga different sectors have different roles to play. And I guess we could start with the government. As I've mentioned earlier, I think the Philippine government has been promoting urban agriculture as early as 2014 to encourage more people to eat healthy. Tapos as well as keep prices of food stable. But they've been passing regulations and laws to help spur urban agriculture, which is a huge opportunity for the private sector and for those practicing urban farming. So yeah, I think the government just needs to make sure that it also takes advantage of the many technologies available for food production, especially yun nga, hydroponics, aquaponics, aeroponics, to yung much more ngayon which I think is we're getting into which is precision agriculture, or yung vertical indoor farms. But yeah, for these food production systems to, I guess, really have a significant impact in our country's food production, we need to do it at scale. Kasi hindi naman siya pwede yung isang kami lang gagawa or yung ilang gagawa or just walang suporta sa private sector. So yun, I do believe na yun the private sector has a big role to play on this as well. Hindi lang government.
Tama. Tama eh. Kasi if we want to achieve something as a nation, we just need to work together. Meron pa akong isang quote na naalala, it takes two to tango. So hindi lang siya yung private sector. O dalawa na yung quote ko
Dami
It takes two to tango. So hindi lang private sector, government, then we really need to work together to achieve something as a nation.
Totoo yan. At saka I think naman, tama rin sinabi ni Robi, with the regulations in place, yung mga ipapasa pang batas, and then of course, all of the information available, I'm sure urban farming and agriculture will really have a greener pasture dito sa bansa natin. So, Robi, ako napapaisip din ako kanina, since urban farming can be done at your home, pwede mong i-practice, pwedeng pagkakitaan, di ba? In the long run ba, Robi, do you think that the practice of urban farming ba can sustainably feed our cities? Kaya na ba nitong mapakain talaga yung ating mga cities dito sa Philippines when practice the right way? Any thoughts on this?
Honestly, right now, hindi. Kasi I would say yun nga, the main drawback of having us having buildings of indoor farms located in urban spaces is the high cost of the technology. So yun, and siguro that's one of the main reasons why I think indoor farming or urban farming dito sa Pilipinas hasn't really taken off compared dun sa like Singapore or Europe or Japan or Taiwan. But sa totoo lang, I'm very hopeful kasi I've been doing research, and ang dami talaga ang laki nung investments that are being put into precision agriculture, especially here in Asia Pacific. And it's estimated to grow to around 40 billion by 2025. So yun, 5 years na lang.
Yeah.
It really gives me hope na yes, in the future, as our farmers get older and no one replaces them, just in case, indoor farms located in urban areas will actually be able to feed yung cities. Hindi lang siya pwedeng magbigay ng pagkain, pero pwede siyang magpakain sustainably.
At least we really have a good future. We have bright future in the Philippines. So mahirap, actually, lagi naman expected na yan, laging mahirap, madaming hurdles. But then, kapag nandun yung hope, nandun yung pagiging hopeful mo as a nation, as an individual, diba, meron kang drive to move forward and gising araw-araw para to work.
Yeah, I think meron pang tayong last question, Jeff. Siguro sa ating mga nagko-comment sa ating live stream ngayon.
If you have, merong one question dito from Sussex Royal. No? It's actually again about hydroponics, Robi. May I know what are the disadvantages of aqua or hydroponics? Do we get the same nutrients? Parang with the traditional farming, what about microbiomes? What the diseases and pests? Is it still considered organic? No, very technical tong term niya. And any thoughts on this, Robi?
Okay. But, siguro yun nga, one of the disadvantages of of having an indoor setup, lalo na yung indoor nga, is the cost of yung setting up. Medyo yun nga, capex intensive siya. And then if you're going to use indoor lights, medyo may added cost pa rin yan. But yun nga, in terms of yung like if you use yung mga indoor lights, mas kaya mo siyang mas mapabilis yung growth. Like yung ngayon, 'di ba, medyo maulan. Parang sa in the past few weeks parang nakakakuha lang kami ng around 2 to 3 hours of sunlight. So, ginagawa namin yung mga seedlings namin, inaano namin using our artificial grow lights para nga mas siya, para makadagdag dun sa sa yung light requirement. Sorry, ulit yung question.
Yung question niya, do we get the same nutrients with the hydroponics as compared with the traditional farming?
Well, yung, lalong sa hydroponics kasi, meron na siyang like, lalo na yung ginawa ng UPLB na snap hydroponics. Kahit i-provide yung lahat ng macro and micronutrients that the plants need. So, yun nga, using yung maliit na or konting solution lang, it can will be able to provide the needs of the plants. So, basically, the same na rin ng kasi we're working with chefs para mano namin yung lasa. Yun lang, may mga siguro 2 out of 5 nagsabi na parang iba yung lasa ng hydroponics or aquaponics compared dun sa soil grow. Parang may inano lang sila na
mas iba yung lasa in a good way or in a bad way?
Parang yung lasa was more flavorful.
Most flavorful. Nice, cool. Ito, one comment na lang before we wrap up our conversation. May isang comment si Mark Darish Alcazar. Ito, from sa Alfonso Cavite daw, yung mga leaders nila sa munisipyo, merong inorganize na org-aniko. Ang lahat ng pananim ay sinusupply ng municipality namin. Tapos at the same time, nagkakaroon ng trabaho ang mga Alfonso farmers namin. Lahat ng aanihin po ay libreng ipinamahagi sa mga taga-bayan namin. Good work yan sa government ng Alfonso. Usually, yung Alfonso, taniman niya ng mga kape. Madaming mga kape dyan. Pero good thing na madami ding nag-venture into other crops yung Alfonso. Good work.
Grabe. So, kita naman natin, Jet at saka Robi, ang daming na-inspire ngayon for today's afternoon dito sa ESME. Grabe. I'm sure they all have more questions pa, but of course, our time is very limited. So, I think, Robi, how can they get in touch with Uproot if they have any questions or if they have any inquiries or technical questions for that matter?
Siguro, you can reach us sa Facebook, Uproot Urban Farms, and you can personally message me, Robi Del Rosario. Tapos sa Instagram, it's uproot.ph.
Tama. Yan, madaming question, bro, Robi. Madaming question about hydroponics, education, how it works, magkano. And yun, contact nyo si Robi and yung Uproot sa mga social media accounts nila para mas marami tayong ma-address yung mga questions nyo. So, Robi, thank you. Thank you for giving us. Alam mo, this webinar has been, tingin ko, one of the most educational webinar that we had. Ang dami nating natutunan, ang dami nating napag-usapan. And for everyone naman na who attended this webinar, you can get your digital certificate of attendance. Just visit www.esme.ph and we will also post the link of this in the comment section of this live webinar. So, mga umattend, pwede kayong kumuha ng webinar na certificate of attendance. Thank you
Wow.
again, Robi. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Robbie. Ang dami mong na-inspire, ang dami mong ideas na na-share. And of course, more people are now interested in urban farming and of course, producing more food, safer food for, not just for everyone, but for others as well. So thank you, Robbie. And
Thank you.
grabe, Jet, ang
I
dami
also want to
natututunan.
thank Jem for being here with me today. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Hindi
Thank
ka lang
you.
guest host, marami ka ding insights. Thank you for all of your insights. No,
Yeah.
any last word sa ating audience ngayon, no? Mga promote ka, social media accounts mo and anything.
Yeah, yeah. First of all, thank you, ESME.ph. And of course, thank you, Jet and Robbie, for having me. It was such a nice experience learning from this platform. I encourage everyone na nanonood that do check out the courses here. Ako, after nito, check ko pa yung mga ibang courses kasi I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot, especially during
Yeah.
this pandemic. And for those who are, of course, looking for hosts for your future events or for your online gigs or online events, you can just reach me at my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/gemthehost. And of course, you can also get in touch with me at Instagram at instagram.com/gemthehost. And if you have any other inquiries related to events or hosting, you can just send me a private message there on my social media account. So, yon, Jet, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jem. And before we come to the end of this webinar, and speaking kasi mag-check ka ng mga webinars, no? I'd like to invite everyone, if you want to learn more and increase your knowledge and skills, madami nga tayong hindi lang webinars, madami pa tayong mga courses, mga free courses. Just visit www.esme.ph. Nakita natin yung kahalagahan ng education ngayon, hindi lang sa urban agriculture, urban farming, but to all of the yung mga endeavors and you want mo mga passion nyo. Marami tayong courses dyan. Just look into what is relevant to you and what you are passionate about. And speaking of Jem and Robi, no, meron akong newly launched course. It's about
Wow.
financial literacy for Filipinos. So, ang exciting dito sa ginawa ko, Tagalog siya. All Tagalog na course siya about financial literacy. Para mas maraming mga Pilipino ang matuto at makarelate sa financial literacy. Kasi another big problem din yan ng society natin. No? Meron lang ako short video ipapakita para dito sa course namin. Ayan. So, visit lang sa www.esme.ph for my course and other courses na available right now. So again, thank you. Thank you for all who joined us today. Thank you, Robi, for all of your insights. Thank you, Jem, for being here with me. And
Thank
see you
you,
next
Jet.
one. Keep safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.